I quite like them. Sometimes I'm not quite sure that the pleasure of casting with one sometimes goes out with a bit of a thump and a splash at the end, which
You're
I don't
quite
altogether
right
like. But no, I prefer the ordinary conventional double tapered.
Intermediate line.
Intermediate or slow sinking, I think so.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There are plenty of theories about salmon, and common sense plays a big part too. Peter reckons that a fish may well have worked its way up over the sill of the little stone weir in the night, so he fishes the glides at the tail of the pool, fishing gently, letting the fly move through the water at its own speed. The summer wears on, and there's been no rain for a fortnight. The river shrinks in its bed. The fishing changes. Dawn and dusk become the best taking times, and you have to fish tiny flies on light tackle in the streamier, better oxygenated water. The fish tend to be smaller too, though the ones that are fresh in on the tide are lively enough.
You want to take him out as a net, Peter? You take him out.
This Grilse took the dropper, an extra fly tied up the leader. Using a dropper is an accepted tactic for low-water salmon fishing and can sometimes give you a chance of a bonus sea trout as well.
Out there, about 2.5, I'd say. Very small. Nice fresh fish.
What's the getting down to?
Don't tell.
What size?
10.
10.
The dropper.
Low-water conditions in summer are certainly not easy for the salmon angler, but it seldom settles down to being dry for any length of time in the west of Ireland, and there's more rain on the way. Tying your own flies adds an extra dimension to fishing. This is particularly true of salmon flies. Very few of them are exact imitations of living things. They're pure products of the creative imagination, and often beautiful in their own right. They also have a fascinating history. British dressings are recorded back to the 15th century, though all these early ones seem to have been fairly dull concoctions of feather and hair. Then in the 1840s, a revolution originated in Limerick, in Ireland, and very bright flies using feathers from exotic tropical birds became all the rage. The Donegal fly dressers developed these dressings still further, and many are still in use. But in this century, the revolution has been reversed. American and Scottish influences have meant that modern salmon flies tend to use more hair than feathers, have reverted to sombrer colours, and by using improved technology in hook making can be tied on a variety of irons or on hollow tubes which slide on the leader. This is going to be a silver rat variant, a North American pattern that does well in the west of Ireland. It's a modern hair-wing fly. The dressing starts conventionally enough. A tinsel body and a tail of golden pheasant tippet are tied on the hook, in this case a long shank double iron. There are some universal classic dressings like the rat series, but there are also lots of local flies. Even a small river like the Erith develops its own unique patterns. The genie is a classic 19th century dressing, though it's been modernized as a hair wing. and the silver erif is one of the local patterns, popular in summer in Connemara. The red shrimp is an exception to the rule that salmon flies are not representational. It's an attempt to imitate the krill, a saltwater crustacean. And the black pennel is primarily a brown and sea trout fly from the last century, which is very useful for low-water salmon fishing. Each fibre in the hair wing has to be tamped to the correct length. The original fly used the guard hairs of a grey fox, but this variant uses the stiffer badger hair mixed with grey squirrel. This pattern is unusual because it's got a spun hackle in front of the wing, like a trout fly. Nobody has yet come up with a better method of creating a ruff of fine, bright fibres than by spinning a small feather round the shank of the hook, a badger-coloured cock hackle in this case. The thread which holds all the components together has to be securely whipped to the hook just behind the eye, using a special tool. Then the whole whipping is doubly secured with a coating of varnish. And yet another good reason for tying your own salmon flies is that they're much cheaper this way. And you can also incorporate small variations of your own, which, who knows, could make all the difference on the day. And finally, the completed fly is put in a safe place for the varnish to dry. And there it is, a silver rat variant, ready for the water. A great big rolling flood is just what the fish and the fishermen have been waiting for. But nothing can happen till it's run its course.
That was yesterday when the river was a bit higher down here.
The lodge is full of good-humoured impatience and lots of fishing talk. Local experts are much in demand. The Englishman, the Frenchman and the Irishman sounds like the start of a joke, but it's actually a very serious conversation about fly patterns on the doorstep.
Well, I used the opportunity of the flood to tie up a few. Yeah. And this is what I came up with. My first choice would be that fly. It's called a silver rat. It's a very simple fly, really. Yes, yes, as you can see, a silver body and a mixture of grey squirrel and badger hair.
That's right. Yeah, that's a silver rat
that's
too?
That's it on the single hook, yeah. That one would be fine today. Fine. What have you got over here?
Well, here I have a blue badger.
Yeah, that's a blue badger.
That's a blue badger, yes. It isn't too big.
Oh no, that to me is the correct size today.
Is it? Oh yes.
Yeah. Because the water is dropping quickly.
Dropping quickly.
Yeah, it's dropping off quickly.
And
you need to go down in size.
Is it a good fly for today?
That's a good fly today with this kind of light. Yeah,
yes.
You know, a mixture of sunshine and cloud.
Oh, yes.
That's a very, very effective fly.
I thought they were too big.
No, they're not. Today, where is it? That one on the dropper and that fly on the point.
On the point.
Yeah, on B4.
B4.
Yeah.
Do you normally have the smaller dropper or the same size?
Well, it varies. Today, I think I'd have the two flies the same size.
Oh, will you?
Yes.
Is a BBO good on the dropper?
A BBO is a very good fly on a dropper. A BBO or a black pennel.
A black pennel.
Yeah, they're both excellent dropper flies here.
Oh, yes.
Even in quite small sizes.
Yes.
I'm going to go inside and get a few smaller flies in that,
yeah,
what you told me.
Yeah.
These are all too big.
They're too
I
big.
just put them in here for, going up the river.
Yeah,
they're too big.
I hope these will do.
It's the 1st of July. The water's in perfect order, fining down after the flood and full of the grilse that ran up in the high water. At moments like this, it seems pointless to be doing anything else in the world except fishing for salmon in a beautiful river. With one fish on the grass, Peter can relax a little and enjoy the whole experience. There's something about the clean Atlantic light and the flowing water which distorts time into a long, hypnotic daydream. Every season, the Erith produces classic spate river fishing in the summer. It's not the easiest form of angling in the world, but many people think it's the most challenging and fascinating. They fish on, hoping for that magic day when the river finds down and it's full of fish and you're presenting the right fly in the right place at the right time.